All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. The Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Watertown. The time is 7
Recording
o'clock.
in progress.
Okay, I'm going to have the secretary call the roll.
Rick Sarandria,
Here.
Phil Roger. Here. Ned Dalton here. Vinnie Giannetto. Here. Roger Mitchell. Here. Gary Swingle.
Here.
Jeff Franson.
Here.
Marie Genovese.
Boy, it's nice to have a full board and we can see one another. Congratulations, guys. Okay, I'm going to read the ground rules for tonight's Zoning Board of Appeals public hearing. The applicant or his representative will make the formal presentation to the board stating his specific hardship and precisely why this merits a variance from the zoning regulation of the Town of Watertown. All comments, discussions, and observations shall be made through the chair after proper recognition by the chairman. This is necessary to ensure that only one person at a time speaks on any issue, thus making it easier for everyone to understand and for clearer legal transcription. All persons addressing the commission shall begin first by clearly stating their name and address for the record. If necessary, the person may be asked to spell his or her name for the record. Following the presentation of the application, the Zoning Board of Appeals will ask specific questions of the applicant. After the board has asked its questions of the applicant, I should then allow any members of the public who wish to speak either in favor of this application or against it to address the board. I shall then allow the applicant to respond to the comments of the members of the general public. I shall then allow any members of the general public who wish to present any additional information or clarifying discussion to do so at that time. I shall then provide any opportunity for the applicant to respond to these additional remarks if he or his representative so wishes. The Zoning Board of Appeals has 35 days from the date the public hearing commences to complete the public hearing. The board may ask the applicant for a 35-day extension of the public hearing period if the commission requires any additional information or wishes to schedule a site walk to observe the situation for themselves. The Zoning Board of Appeals has 65 days from the date when the public hearing is closed to render its decision. The board may or may not make its decision tonight at its regular meeting following the public hearing. You may stay for the regular meeting if you wish, or you may leave at the end of the public hearing and contact the zoning office the following morning to determine the status of your application. Our first thing here is election of officers. How do you guys feel? Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do it at the end?
We can wait till the end.
It's on the agenda now. You can do it. It takes just 1 minute to do it.
Okay. Okay, well, do I have someone?
I make a motion for Rick Sarandria to be chairman.
Second.
No, you
I'm gonna
nominate.
I'm going to turn the voting over to the vice chairman, Phil Rogers.
I second the motion. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none.
I guess you're elected.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I nominate Phil Rogers for vice chairman.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any nominations? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Phil? Same old story.
Yeah, same story.
Okay, I nominate Ned Dalton for secretary.
Second.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. Have a motion? I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ned, you're the secretary. Okay, let's get on to the public hearing. Continuation of a public hearing for May 26, 2021 for an application 2021.
No, that's only 21.5.
Okay. 2021-5 of Donald Fitzgerald for a variance of 23.2 feet to the front yard property line setback for an existing addition to a two-family home in a 6-foot by 12-foot deck at 59 Fairview Avenue, Oakville, in an RG General Residential Zoning District. Is someone here to represent the applicant?
Please sit there. Yes. Yes.
We're new at this, so, yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? We got you on TV too, just in case.
it doesn't break.
Okay, go ahead, state your case.
Don Fitzgerald, 99 Pine Street, Naugatuck, Connecticut. I'm looking to extend an existing house too close to the property line, front property line. The house has existed since 1920, and I'm looking to put an 8-foot extension on it, too close to the front line. And as you all know, the work's been done. I'm trying to rectify the problem. I have to get the approval so I can get permits to go through the building department to fix anything that's incorrect at this point in time.
So, yeah, there's a letter from the building inspector if you want.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
also, I was out with the building inspector yesterday. He went through the property. We looked it all over. He wants the deck torn down, as I agree and everybody agrees. And everything else basically in the property he feels could be rectified. I got to get prints to him, permits, and start working on the issues that he brought up.
Okay, we also have a letter from the building inspector. I'll have the secretary read that into the minutes.
Regarding 59 Fairview Avenue, Oakville, Connecticut. To whom it may concern, after an inspection at the property 59 Fairview Avenue, it is determined that a permit can be applied for and issued after zoning approval, and a drawing is submitted and approved for work to be done and work previously done. Also, portions of previous work done shall be brought up to code, as discussed with the owner. Sincerely, Jeffrey Biolo, building official.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for the applicant?
No, after the site walk, I believe that we all were pretty well informed of what's going to happen here. After issuing a variance for the setback, the building official is going to make sure that everything is brought up to code.
Are there any other questions?
No, that's it.
Musa, do you have anything you want to add?
No, Mr. Chairman, at the last meeting, you wanted the building inspector to go there. I went with him, and we did a very detailed review of the building inside and outside. And the building inspector, was agreed that everything is fixable there. And he was concerned about the foundation. He's going to ask the property owner to dig a hole next to the foundation to make sure that that is good. If it is not, they have to replace that with a new foundation according to the building codes. I don't see any problem because before they enclosed this area, there was a deck located in the same location and with the same distance from the front property line. The only difference is that that deck is enclosed now. It became a part of the building. But the property owner has to remove the existing deck entirely and put a small deck for the second floor for access.
Just as a means
only.
of egress.
Yes, for egress purposes. That is required by building code.
Right.
And I don't see any problem with that.
And then also, we recommend at the time to, if you put a deck downstairs, to put it right on the ground, so you don't even need variance or anything for that. Just enough to get in and out of the house, because you need that for egress.
Yep.
Okay, you guys have anything else you'd like to add or say? You good? Okay, is there anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this application? Is there anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this application? Anyone from the public wishing to speak for or against this application? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
No, we can't approve.
Mark, yeah,
Close the public hearing.
motion.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, next application is application 2021-6 of Matthew and Jessica.
Three.
Yeah, it's 6.
It says 6 on the new
says
sheet,
6
but
on
it's
the sheet.
3 on the old sheet.
So, Okay, Matthew and Jessica Lemos for a variance of 5 feet to a side yard property line setback to construct, for the construction of a 28-foot, 10-inch by 28-foot attached garage, new mudroom, and new porch to be located 5 feet from a side property line at 103 Jenks Street, Oakville, Connecticut, in an R12.5 residential zoning district. We don't have to read the public notice again, do we?
There is a legal notice. It's a new application for a
Okay.
new variance.
All right, Ned, you want to read that?
The Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Watertown will hold a public hearing at 7 PM on Wednesday, June 23rd at the Watertown Town Hall, Council Chambers, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, to hear and act upon the following application. Application 2021-6 of Matthew and Jessica Lemos for a variance of 5 feet to a side yard property line setback for construction of a 28-foot, 10-inch by 28-foot attached garage, new mudroom, and new porch to be located 5 feet from the side property line at 103 Jenks Street, Oakville, Connecticut, in an R12.5 residential zoning district. Section 12.8 of the Watertown zoning regulations requires minimum 10-foot setback from side property lines and principal building in an R12.5 residential zoning district. At this hearing, interested persons and written communications will be heard. A copy of the application is on file in the Planning and Zoning Office, Watertown Municipal Center, 60 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut. Dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this 10th day of June, 2021. Dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this 17th day of June, 2021. That's
Is there
all,
any-
Secretary.
Is there anyone here to represent the applicant? Want to state your name and address?
Jessica Lemos, 103 Jenks Street.
Matt Lemos, 103 Jenks Street.
Okay. Can you go over your whole situation again? Sorry about that.
So, yes, so, you know, the other variance was approved at the last meeting. So this specifically had to do with the difference of that 1.6 feet that Musa was originally talking about, being able to shorten the distance. And you'll see there was a letter that was submitted by our contractor.
Right.
And so in addition to what we spoke about at the last meeting, where that I was concerned, or the non-architect was able to see that there was the stairwell that we had to deal with that was causing it. In addition, you'll see in that last letter, that last line there, he said not only would the reduction of the 1.6 feet create an unsafe issue with the stairwell, it would also result in the garage door mechanism not being at regulation or code, because it would then be, the door has to shift over, because
Center.
it can't be in front of the stairwell. So it has to get shifted over, and if it gets shifted over and we lose that 1.6 feet, it's gonna be too close to the exterior wall and won't allow for the mechanism to be regulation. So those are the two reasons why that measurement needs to stay the way it is.
Okay, would you like to add anything, or you're all set?
No, thank you.
Anyone from the board wish to say anything, have anything to say or ask?
Is Thomas Duffany the owner? Is he an architect or is he a contractor?
He's an architect.
Okay, I'm going to have Ned read that letter from the architect into the record.
Letter from Construction Design LLC, Stock and Custom Home Plans from 85 Hopkins Road, Northfield, Connecticut, 06778, dated June 21st, 2021. To whom this may concern. As it pertains to the Limos garage drawing, there is a dimension of 28 feet 10 inches from the rear of the house to the garage rear wall. This was due to a 5-foot space needed for the basement stairs and the wall to be built at the top of the stairs. The remaining space in terms of width of the garage allows for 2 vehicles to park within the garage and accounting for space needed to access the cars from within the garage. Therefore, a reduction in width by 1.6 feet would not allow for the two vehicles to fit properly within the garage, nor would the walls surrounding the overhead doors comply with the required wall bracing specifications. Respectfully, Thomas Duffney, owner, Construction Design LLC.
Okay. You guys have anything you'd like to ask or add, or? Pretty well said. How about you, Musa?
The only thing that I want the property owners to understand is that you change the rear property line to side property line because you are a corner lot and you have the choice to pick which side is the rear property line and which side is the side property line. The westerly side that this garage is going to be 5 feet from, we treat that as a side property line now. In future, if you have a project, suppose you want to put like a shed or a swimming pool or something, when you submit an application for a zoning permit, we will treat that as a side property line. You cannot just go back and change it. Like the rear property line now on your property is the northerly side of the property. And the side property line is the westerly side, this line that you are asking for a variance. I just want you to know that in future, if you have a project, you should understand that that will be a side property line.
Thank
That's
you.
it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, is there anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this application? Is there anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this application? Is there anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this application? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
We have to close the public hearing
Yep.
after every,
Yep.
oh, okay, we never did that before.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on here. Application number 2021-7 of Antonio Portolina for two variances of the zoning regulations concerning rear and side yard setbacks for construction of a 16 foot by 12-foot shed at 170 West Road, Watertown, Connecticut, in an R30 residential zoning district. Is there a legal notice on this one?
Yes.
Okay. Want to read it, Ned?
The Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Watertown will hold a public hearing at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021, at Watertown Town Hall, Council Chambers, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, to hear and act upon the following application. Application number 2021-7 of Antonio Portolina for, number one, a variance of 10 feet to rear property line setback, and number two, a variance of 13 feet to a side yard property line setback for construction of a 6 by 12 shed to be located 5 feet from the rear property line and 2 feet from the side property line at 170 West Road, Watertown, Connecticut, in an R30 residential zoning district. Section 12.8 of the Watertown zoning regulations requires minimum 15-foot setback from side and rear property lines for an accessory structure in a R30 residential zoning district. At this hearing, interested persons and written communications will be heard. A copy of the application is on file in the Planning and Zoning Office, Watertown Municipal Center, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut. Dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this 10th day of June 2021. Dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this 17th day of June 2021. Edwin Dalton, Secretary.
Is there anyone here to represent the applicant?
I'm Antonio Portolina. I live on 170 West Road, and I'm looking to get two variances, one on the side property line.
Sir, before you continue, do you have your cards?
Say that again?
Do you have the green cards?
Green card?
Yes, we have them there in the file.
Oh,
They submitted to
I'm
the
sorry.
office.
Yeah, no, I don't have them. They were
Yes,
submitted
we
already.
have.
All right,
Yeah, they
continue.
were submitted as far as everything. Yeah, so I'm looking to have a variance on the side property line of 13 feet variance, so it would be 2 feet next to the property there. And then on the rear property line, I'm looking for a 10-foot variance to put the shed on the property. Now, the back property, or behind my property is the Watertown Country Club, and that section of the country club is all woods. There's nothing there. It's no, as far as the golf course or anything like that. And then on the side of the property where I'm asking for the 13-foot variance, my neighbor who lives there, she has approved of it. She said it's okay with her as far as if I put it that close, she doesn't mind. And she wrote a letter stating that, and that's also, it should be within the file, saying that she doesn't mind if it being that close to her house.
What is your hardship?
Well, I really don't have any other location to put it because the way the property is, it's rectangular in shape. So that's one thing. And then the setback from the front to the back isn't that big, and it has a septic system, and the septic system is a pump-up system. So the whole lower section of the yard in the back it has two tanks in there, one for the solids and then one for the liquids. And then the upper section is all leaching fields. So as it is right now, where I positioned the shed, it's 12 feet away from, the leaching field, the closest leaching field, which Bob Smith, he wants a minimum of 10 feet.
The health department looked at this?
He did, and he approved of it.
Okay. Now, this shed's going to be in what, on sonotubes, or what's it going to be, pouring the floor?
No, so what it's going to do, it's going to have, it's going to be on crushed stone. So
Okay.
it'll be a foot larger than the footprint of the shed around the whole perimeter. And
Okay.
and also the other thing is this section of the property where it's going to be located, it's pretty level. So I don't have to excavate anything out of it, to pour the pad or to put the crushed stone.
Okay. Anybody from the board have any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
The only question I have is, I always get nervous when an applicant wants to put a structure 2 feet from a property line. How do you maintain that side of the structure? With 2 feet, how do you get to that side to do any work, do any painting? If something falls, how do you repair that without going onto the adjoining property? I'm thinking if it was 6 feet from the property line, you could perform maintenance on the shed, and how do you work on that side of the shed with a 2-foot variance?
I mean, there's another, I don't think there's going to be an issue. For one, the neighbor on that side, she has a fence that's installed, and the fence, she did not put the fence on the property line, when I had the property surveyed. So there's like an additional 2-3 feet or maybe 2 feet to where her fence is. I know that that's not the right answer, but that's,
Neighbors change, though.
No, I realize that. but
Neighbors change.
It's only a corner of the, because the way that, the other thing is, the way the property is set, it's not like the shed's gonna be parallel to that whole side. It's only one corner of the shed that's gonna be 2 feet away.
So the closest corner is 2 feet away. How far away is the farthest corner then?
I'm not sure. I don't know, just maybe 3 feet,
Okay, just,
That's
all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
yeah.
Anyone else have any questions of the applicant?
Motion to look at this.
I got that. There's a letter here from a neighbor. You want to read that, Nat, into the record?
June 11th, 2021, I, Sandra Oreo, from 186 West Road, have no concerns regarding a shed being constructed on 170 West Road. Tony was very thorough in presenting me with visual of where the shed would be located, as well as where the property line is. I have every confidence in Tony, and I am grateful to have him for a neighbor. Sincerely, Sandra Oreo, 186 West Road, Watertown, Connecticut.
Okay. Musa, did you go take a look at this?
Mr. Chairman, actually, before I came to the meeting, I went there to see, and Mr. Mitchell also came with me, and he was a witness. I asked the same question that Mr. Franson asked, that is this possible to move the shed a little bit further from the property line? And we look at that area, and it's impossible because the leaching field is on one side. On the other side, they have these raised planting beds with like wooden walls. I don't know if it was just a new garden. And
yeah.
even I asked that if they can turn the shed to make it further away from the property line. Then it gets closer to the leaching fields.
leach fields.
It's a very tight corner of the property that they
Yeah.
want to put the shed.
Because looking at the prints and then looking at the site in person, it makes a big difference. Because
Uh-huh.
when I first saw the prints, I said, well, turn it around. There's no way.
Yeah.
What determined the size of the shed? Is that absolute? Is that an ordered shed? Is that something you're constructing on site?
Well,
The
it's gonna
size
be
of the shed change?
It's going to be ordered shed.
Pardon me?
It's an ordered shed. I mean,
So that's a fixed, those are fixed dimensions for that particular shed?
well, it is at this point, but,
I mean, would you consider changing it a little bit to get more area on one side for maintenance?
well, I mean, we're doing it because of the square footage, and we need the space to be able to store, the lawn equipment and things on the property.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah,
Change the size of the shed
yeah.
by a foot or
I
so.
mean, it's possible.
They won't, they go in like
I mean, what's acceptable, I guess?
2 4-foot increments, so it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Turn on.
You would end up like 12 by 12, which is, they don't go like 1 foot increments when you order them. They will build it that way, but it'll be, you can build a garage for the amount that they're gonna charge. So the next size down is like 12 by 12, which gets kind of small.
Yeah,
You
I'm not
cannot
sure
do
what the
12
next-
by 14?
What's that?
You cannot do 12 by 14?
I don't think they have a 12 by 14.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, probably the next is 12 by 12, I'll bet.
Well, they make them that way to, for the wood sizes come in those
Well, it's
sizes. you know.
standard.
They don't come in 14, they come in
No.
16 and 12, and
Yeah. That's to keep the cost down.
What's that?
Keep the cost down on the shed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone else have any questions? No?
no.
Everybody's all set? Anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this application? Okay, ma'am, want to come up? State your name and address for the record.
Nancy Stankiewicz, 160 West Road. I'm on the other side of the house, and I have no objection.
Okay,
That's it. Can I go?
you're good. Okay, anyone else from the public wants to speak for or against this application? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion?
Make a motion to close. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next application.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next application is application 2021-8 of Joseph Vitone for 2 variances of the zoning regulations concerning front and side yard setbacks and a variance of 14.8% building coverage for construction of a 12.4 inch, 12-foot 4-inch by 23-foot deck addition at 253 Buckingham Street, Oakville, Connecticut, in a BL local business zoning district. Is there anyone here to represent the applicant?
There is a legal notice?
Yeah, well, Ned, read it. I'll get the applicant up here so he can hear it. Go ahead.
Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Watertown will hold a public hearing at 7 PM on Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021 at Watertown Town Hall, Council Chamber, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, to hear and act upon the following application. Application 2021-8 of Joseph Vitone for, number 1, a variance of 20.3 feet to front property line street line of Ball Farm Road setback. Number 2, a variance of 23 feet to rear property line setback. And number 3, a variance of 14.8% building coverage for construction of a 12.4 foot by 23 foot deck addition to be located 4.7 feet from front property line, street line of Ball Farm Road, and 2 feet from a rear property line, which brings the building coverage to 44% at 253 Buckingham Street, Oakville, Connecticut, in a BL local business zoning district. Section 16.4.1 of the Watertown zoning regulations requires minimum 25-foot setback from front and rear property lines for buildings and 30% maximum building coverage in a BL local business zoning district. At this hearing, interested persons and written communications will be heard. A copy of the application is on file in Planning Zoning Office, Watertown Municipal Center, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this 10th day of June 2021, dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this 17th day of June 2021, Adult Secretary.
You want to state your name and address for the record?
Steve Martino, 105 Beach Avenue, Watertown.
You have the cards there?
Yep.
You want to give them to our secretary?
There's a couple that came back, but I don't have them with me. Joe Vitone received them at his house, and he ended up leaving on vacation 2 days ago, and I wasn't able to grab them from him, but they did come in. So.
Raise your right hand. Okay, want to state your case and your hardship?
Okay, well, basically, we're applying to increase the decking space on the back entrance to Ordinary Joe's, as we stated in this. It's just a very tight area, and we just feel it'll be a lot safer and roomier for people to come in and exit through that area. So that's basically our main reason for doing it. It's up for repairs and everything like that, so we just like to do it right this time and just make it a safer, more roomy area to enter and exit the building.
Are there going to be stairs to this deck?
Yes.
What's that?
Mr. Chairman, there is a statement of hardship in the packet.
Yeah. that's
If
what
you
I'm
read
getting out
that,
right
that
now.
will explain the problem that they have now and why they need this deck.
So I saw it, that's what I'm going to do, get that, and get that read into the record. Okay, Ned, you want to read that into the record? Their
There's a
statement?
song. No, I can't find
You're working hard tonight, buddy.
it.
That's it.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Ordinary Joe's Incorporated, 253 Buckingham Street, Oakville, Connecticut, 06779, Deer Zoning Board of Appeals. As the owners of Ordinary Joe's at 253 Buckingham Street, Oakville, Connecticut, we are writing this letter to ask you to please grant our request for a land variance so that we may extend our back deck. The reason, first and foremost, is safety. We feel in case of an emergency, it would allow us to evacuate much quicker. The current area is very congested. Also, when entering, exiting, or just taking a cigarette break, it would allow for customers to spread out a little more. We feel many people will still want to social distance for years to come. Having a larger deck would allow them to spread out more and feel safe. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Joe Vitone, Steve Martino, and Joe Romano.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so now, the existing decks, is that deck's going to stay?
We'd basically be fixing that and added on to it, yeah.
Incorporated into the new deck?
Correct.
Now, is that area is used for shipping and receiving too, right?
Correct.
All right.
So,
Anyone got any questions?
I'm just, looking at the deck, it appears that the customers now are getting very close to Ball Farm Road. I didn't know if it was worth, having a fire marshal go. I mean, the gentlemen, state that they believe this is gonna make it safe or safer. Doesn't always happen. I do things at my home that I think are gonna make things better, and in the long run, sometimes they don't, but, I'm using the Carvel as an example. They did their addition, which got close to the road, and then we asked them to put bollards in to protect not only people and so there may be a recommendation from fire marshal, for bollards or something, if this is approved. There might be other considerations that, may be needed, if this is approved. Not sure. Just
There's
just a
no
thought.
jurisdiction from the fire marshal
I'm
on
sorry?
an exterior patio. There's no jurisdictional coverage from the fire marshal on the outside.
We do have one of
Once
those.
they're outside the
One
building,
person at a time.
So even the fire marshal wouldn't have anything as far as egress or?
the egress, as long as it's the width, and that's it.
Okay, all right. I just saw the 4 foot, and you're physically bringing people.
Actually, on the other side of that, may I speak? I'm
Sure,
sorry.
go ahead.
I just thought it would help. On the other side of the 4 foot, we already have, I don't know what they're called, but those big blocks you put, like if you're working on a highway or something, and they put them like they're 4 feet long. We already have 2 of
Jersey
those out
barriers.
No, they're
there.
mounted
Yes.
blocks.
And we got those from Dayton Construction. We've had them there actually since COVID hit before, so you can't even get into the property if you were a car or something like that. So those are already up there now, actually.
I got a question for Musa. Musa, this is a BL residential, BL business zone. Where does the residential zone start?
The
Behind-
properties behind this
property
and on the
behind
other
him?
side, yes.
Any other questions? Musa? What's your-
Mr. Chairman, this is, I think, probably a very well-known property for everybody. It is like it's an existing local business property, and most of the lot is already built. I don't see any other reasons. I mean, the other thing other than safety, improved safety. I don't see anything else to say.
Okay. Go ahead, you have something?
There's no roof over this deck, is there?
No.
Any other questions?
I mean, they already use the area as a patio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, with new construction, they plan on putting a
Yes.
roof over it. That's my question.
Right, no, I know, yeah, it had nothing to do with your question.
Okay, you guys all set?
And if they add to the other side of the existing, that it will be closer to the property line, because the property line is like not,
On an yeah.
yes, it's an angle. Yeah. Because when they brought this to the office, I look at that, I say why they cannot put it in the back of the deck. But if they do that, it will be almost to the property line. And on this side, at least there is some distance, like 3.1 foot from the property line.
Is the fence actually on the property line?
The fence itself, yes.
Any other questions? Everybody all set? All set? Okay, is there anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this application? Is there, go ahead, sir. Come up. State your name and address.
My name's Edward Vogel. I live at 230 Ball Farm Road. The only reason I would be against it is because of noise. People outside till 2 in the morning screaming and yelling, and bottles being smashed when you empty the bottles. It's kind of a nuisance. It's to a lot of the neighbors, myself. As far as being for it, I like to be outside just like anyone else. So if it does go through and you do it, there should be a little bit of a noise control. You know, like smashing the bottles at 2 in the morning. You could do that at 11, right? We like put it to the side, smash them when you come in the morning. As far as yelling, just tell your people keep it down who are outside. you know, that's it. I do
Good
have to
point.
work at night, so I'll have to be leaving quick. Sorry about that.
I was thinking the same thing. That's what I asked for residential zone started.
Yeah. It's a good point.
I like to be outside like anyone else.
Yeah.
So the gentleman
Only
makes a
get 2
point, so
months a year.
Go ahead.
just logistical. So the deck isn't going to be at grade, it's going to be elevated.
Correct.
So what is the height of the deck from grade?
This is more Joe's project than mine, but if it's not in here, I probably don't, I'm thinking it 2 feet.
3 steps.
3 steps, so
and then up
yeah.
to the deck, so that's 3.
Well, 7, right, 7 slides.
And the stockade fence adjacent to it is probably an 8-foot fence?
Yeah, and it's 4 feet high because there's already I guess, a constructed wall of bricks, and then the fence is on top of that, so
Oh.
it probably stands, closer to 12 feet high. So,
Probably worth looking at. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm thinking people on the deck, people at grade now are behind the stockade fence. Now you raise the deck, and people standing on the deck, you might be.
yeah. I think we plan on also beautifying that fence too, and replacing it because, exactly where it's at, but it's an older fence, it's been there forever, so we'd
We
want to,
have a fence height regulation, so the
Yeah.
height is the height. So
Yeah.
the noise now is at grade, and now you're raising the noise, and,
Well,
just
Yeah.
something to think about.
Well, the construction of the deck is going to raise the grade, so it'll raise that fence, then the fence will be higher.
No, the fence is
Well,
going
he
to
says he's going to put a new fence in.
fence not attached, but we'd be glad to
How
make
high
it
is
higher
that wall
if we
that
had
that
to.
fence is on right now?
I'm going to say 12 feet because, it's an 8-foot height, so, or actually it's probably a 6-foot height.
Right,
What's-
normal fence is 6 feet
6
high.
feet, so it's probably
And if
12,
it's on top of a wall, it's 6 feet plus.
So
whatever
maybe
the
Okay,
wall
one
is.
10.
person at a time.
yeah, maybe 10 feet, I'm sorry. I really don't know, but it's a 6-foot fence and it's probably starts close to this desk high when it goes up, so.
So Chairman, do you want to go and
9 or
see
10.
this? If you want to
could.
have
You
a
guys wanna go look
field
at it?
trip and see it and then make a decision on it?
Okay. Want to go look at it?
Good sidewalk, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No, that's pretty,
Okay, thank you.
concerned.
I just want you to know about noise. The town just adopted a new noise ordinance. And in the case of any noise problem, you can contact the town of Watertown and they will tell you what to do about the noise.
And I wasn't aware
That is
of
for the
that-
entire
that
town.
Bottle smash, and I'll look into
Yeah.
that, but that must be the bartenders putting the bottles away.
Yeah, they
at the
empty
end
them
of the night.
outside into the bin.
Yeah, I'll talk to them about that, definitely, no matter what happens here.
That's to what, 10 o'clock, I think?
Well, it's my life.
Yes,
Or
there's
9
something, yes.
o'clock.
I didn't read it
I
yet.
mean, the old ordinance was till 10. I'm not sure about the new one, but it's 62 dB.
Yeah, okay.
62 dB is just us talking normal.
Talking, yes, yeah.
So, just so you're aware, smashing bottles is more than 62 dB.
Well, I wouldn't call it smashing them, but they
Well,
should be
whatever.
talked to, definitely. I wasn't even aware of that. I would have welcomed a phone call for that. Although you probably called and I just never got the message, but I don't know. But I'll definitely talk to the closers about that.
Okay, the next meeting is on July 28th, and the board members will come to the site at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. is good?
5 o'clock.
5 p.m. before the
Rick,
meeting,
it
to look
stays-
at
it
that.
stays
Oh, on that
light,
same day,
so-
on the
Yes, and
28th?
then they
Right
make
before
a
our
decision
meeting.
that
That's
day.
what we're going to do.
Okay.
Oh, you want to have it
appreciate
at
it.
6?
Do it at
Five.
6 or 6 or 6:15.
Okay, so we should change it to like 6,
To 6 o'clock? 6:36?
Yes.
6 is good.
6, right.
6, okay. 6 p.m.
And what was the date again? 20?
July 28th. We will send you a notice.
Okay.
You're not going to have music piped out there, are you?
I'm sorry?
Is there going to be any kind of music piped out there?
No,
Like
nothing,
just
nothing of the sort.
People talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Here. I already did that. He came up. Okay, so is there anyone else that would like to speak for or against this application? Okay, hearing none. Well, we can't close the public hearing, so do I have a motion to,
Make a motion, we table the
Table.
public hearing and
Continue the public
to
hearing.
sidewalk.
is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, you're all set, guys.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Action on minutes, acceptance of minutes.
Mr. Chairman, the minutes were not ready yet.
Okay.
Please table that.
Do I have a motion to table the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, old business, application 2021-5 of Donald Fitzgerald for a variance of 23.2 feet to a front yard property line setback for an existing addition to a two-family home and a 6-foot by 12-foot deck at 59 Fairview Avenue, Oakville, in an RG General Residential Zoning District. Do I have a motion?
Motion approved?
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Well, we've been going around with this property for at least 2-3 years, and I guess we got what we were looking for because this, evidently, there weren't any permits taken out on this property, and the work was done, and it really wasn't done correctly, and it was through no fault of the owner. I guess the person he hired did shoddy work, and so we were made aware of it, and we have the building inspector on it. And it is a hazard, and it has to be repaired. So his hardship is that the property's got to be put back into correct order and be able to be safe enough to live in and to occupy.
Brought up to code.
And brought up to code. So,
So we do conditionally?
right. Well, who's going to make that? I can't make a motion. Can you make a motion to,
Well, the motion
Put that
is.
into that
is
motion.
A motion to approve conditionally based on the inspection by the building inspector and with his approvals.
that was part of our agreement the last time you came here. Our agreement was that the building inspector, what you're doing is has to approve it and give you a CO. And once that's done, then you're all done with us. You're all done, you're in good shape. So it's in his hands after this. Okay, so there's a motion to approve, a second.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay, new business, motor vehicle application number 2021-3.
Mr. Chairman, item 2, old business review of the zoning board of
Oh,
appeals
I'm sorry.
bylaws.
The review of zoning board of appeals bylaws. You guys want to go through that tonight? You want to go through that? Or we-
Nine.
We made those changes that you suggested, and it is already typed in. And the reason that you didn't approve last meeting, you wanted all the commission members to be here and then make a decision.
All right, can somebody make a motion that that we're approving it with the conditions that we wanted? We just got this tonight, though. Yeah.
And if,
Is that it?
no, if you want to know, I can read the 2 changes that you made to the bylaws, and I have them here.
Why don't you do that?
You want to read? One was section 5. You want to read it? Okay.
Section 5, now, this is what it will currently read.
It is in now.
Okay, so this is the new version of Section 5. The Planning and Zoning Office will provide each member a printed packet that includes all necessary applications, maps, correspondence, and other documents needed to fully understand the existing conditions and variances requested. The packet will be provided at least 5 days before the meeting, and this packet will be provided if virtual meetings are necessary.
Okay, this was the language that the board members proposed, that basically you get a hard copy packet every meeting, before the meeting, yes.
Yeah.
And then also there is another section on action on minutes. We added like a description.
Section 1 of Article 10, we added number 3, action on minutes with an asterisk for minutes shall be sufficiently detailed to ensure accuracy of meeting discussions.
I think Mr. Franson wanted that to be a part of the bylaws. Now they're included.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Under new business, application, motor vehicle application number 2021-3 of Litchfield Hills Capital LLC for approval of a location for a used motor vehicle dealer and motor vehicle repair at 970 Main Street, Watertown, Connecticut, in a BG1 General Business 1 zoning district. Is there someone here to represent? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Pretty
Good
quick.
evening. My name is John McCormick at 165 South Street, Morris, Connecticut. And I'm seeking the board's permission for site approval for a used car dealership that will do automotive repairs at 970 Main Street. The property has a long history of automotive use.
What was that property original?
Across from.
Oh, Bradshaw's.
Not Bradshaw's,
no,
it's
no.
across from the fire
Traders.
station.
Across from the firehouse, a little down from the firehouse.
Oh,
Across from
okay.
Yeah, I be-
Sun.
most
That gas
recently-
station?
Yeah,
Yeah.
way back when, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that was one before, so.
It was a used car
Yes,
dealership,
yes,
and
yeah.
they want to
There was a gas
continue the
station
same
one time.
use.
Right.
Yes.
Cavallo owned that years ago, yeah.
I make a motion, we approve the location.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Thank
set?
you.
Yep. Okay, next, application number 2021-3 of Matthew.
Question?
Oh, you have something you want? I'm sorry.
You don't remember 20 years ago.
Sir,
when-
sir.
Sir, state your name and address for the record.
Alexander Alves, 6 Nova Scotia Hill Road, Watertown. I'm here for one reason. First of all, your chairman was the person who fought for me 20 years ago when they tried to destroy that property. I put considerable money in it to make it look terrific. I also come from a family whose father served this town, and I'm here just to thank you people for giving your private time, because so many people do not know what it takes to give up your own personal life. So as a taxpayer, I thank all of you for what you've done. And Musa has always been great when I have had to go in the past when we had our companies to the building department. So as a taxpayer, I thank all of you for what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate that.
We get a pay raise?
Make 1% more than we get now.
Okay. Application number 2021-3 of Matthew and Jessica Lamos for a variance of 5 feet to a side yard property line setback for construction of a 28-foot by 10-inch by 28-foot attached garage, new mudroom and new porch to be located 5 feet from a property line at 103 Jenkins Street, Oakville, Connecticut, in an R12.5 residential zoning district. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. We've gone over this thing for 3 months, too, and we went on a site walk, and we got the whole thing down, and we made an agreement with them that if they could take the 1.6 feet off that side property of the side part of the garage, they would not have to come back here. And we asked them to have their engineer check it out, and because there is a problem with the staircase, and the car would be driving into the stairs. So we saw the whole thing, and they were nice enough to agree with us and get all this work done. So I think they're warranted. You guys approved it, so I guess they're warranted. So I have a motion on the floor, a second.
And their hardship is, Mr. Chairman, because it's a corner
Corner
lot.
lot,
They
right.
are losing a lot of space because of two
Right.
front setback requirements.
Right.
That is the actual hardship that they have.
Right.
And there's also a correction I want to make. The application number is 2021-6.
Right.
It was a typo. It's not 3. That's my mistake, not
Okay.
yours, yes.
Fired. All right. Okay, so there's a motion, there's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Go build your garage. Okay, let's see, next. Boy, we're working hard tonight. Application 2021-4 2021-7 of Antonio Portolinha for 2 variances of the zoning regulations concerning rear and side yard setback for construction of a 16 by 12-foot shed at 170 West Road, Watertown, in an R30 residential zoning district. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Musa went out and took a look at this place, and I guess he's got, did he have well too? Does he have a well and septic?
Yes, it is approved by Torrington
All right,
Area
so
Health
he's
District.
sort of got like a topo hardship. Actually, there wasn't any other place to put this garage, and one of our members shed, and one of our members went there tonight and saw it himself. He can't turn it around, there's no room to do that. So I guess this is the location for the shed, the best location for the shed. So I have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All set, sir.
Actually, it's the only spot to put it. There's no place else.
Okay, application 2021-8 of Joseph Vitone for 2 variances of the zoning regulations concerning front and side yard
table.
setback and a variance of 14.8% building coverage for construction of a 12.4-inch by 23-foot deck addition at 253 Buckingham Street, Oakville, Connecticut, in a BL local business zoning district. Do I have a motion to table this?
Make a motion, we table and schedule site walk.
Okay.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have a correspondent, well, so with communications and bills, we have a correspondence from our town engineer. What the heck is that?
Please read it.
I have it.
You got it, Ned?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
It's
Read it
from
into the
Town
record.
of Watertown, Public Works Department, Division of Engineering, June 18th, 2021, to Watertown Zoning Board of Appeals from Paul Benovich, Town Engineer, regarding second driveway at 215 North Street, Watertown. Dear Commissioners, just an update on the status of the above. Since the date has passed without any action on the part of the homeowner, I will be notifying the town attorney to proceed with the legal avenues open to the town under the ordinance. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions regarding this matter. Copy to Roseanne, Land Use Administrative Assistant.
Beautiful. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Can we talk about that one a little bit?
Make a motion to accept the
That one, we
communications
should have
bills.
been on that 2 years ago instead of waiting 2 years for the highway to take it that one over.
No.
Because we turned them down 2 years ago.
Right.
And he was supposed to remove that and everything.
Right, right.
then.
Well, we were talking about that on the way in. The town's kind of lax on certain things. Okay, now motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just want to personally thank you guys.
Recording stopped.